Hi there, my name is David and I am an astral projector. I'm here to talk with you about astral projection. So the topic that I would like to talk about today is sleep paralysis and how it is related to astral projection. So let me share my screen. I prepared some material here and we can discuss based on this material. So, right. So let's talk about sleep paralysis. I myself faced sleep paralysis for several years before I discovered what was happening with me. I talk a little bit about that in my first video and how that terrible sensation of the sleep paralysis was converted into an astral projection. So for those who doesn't know what sleep paralysis sleep paralysis is a state when you wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden you can't move. You can't move, you try to talk or to scream and you can't talk or scream. You can try to use force to move your muscles, but for some reason your body doesn't respond. You feel a pressure in your chest, mainly in your chest, but you can also feel that same pressure in other parts of your body. And you get scared, you can get, desperate. Some people think they died. Oh, am I dead? Or something like that. And after a few seconds in that terrible state, all of a sudden, you wake up in your body and you can move again. It's very common, and it happened to me, to think that you are under the control of some spirit or some entity, and that what I used to think. Maybe a spirit or whatever is controlling my body, and I cannot move. So it's very common to think things like that. That's not true. So I will discuss. Of course, what I'm talking here is under the perception and under the studies, the astral projection studies, right? So that's the explanation that astral projection has to sleep paralysis. And according to my own experience, this explanation is correct. Or it sounds more reasonable according to my experience. And some people, and it happened to me, they can see things, like they can see other people around them while they are facing the sleep paralysis. They can feel things and they can hear or people talking or people repeating things or music, stuff like that. So what is that? What's happening there? So let's talk about this. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm basing what I'm saying here in the studies of the Professor Waldo Vieira. I talked about him in my first video, but he was a Brazilian physician and psychic, and he studied astral projection almost for his entire life. He was a researcher. And one of the principles that he created is the principle of disbelief. So he said, do not believe in anything, not even what you are informed here. Experiment. So everything that I'll tell you here, you should try to experiment for yourself. Have your own personal experience. So you cannot say that astral projection exists or do not exist or whatever. you can say that after you experience this thing. So the approach of the Professor Waldo Vieira was, I'll teach you several techniques. I'll teach you how to handle your energies and etc. Then you try it yourself, and you see that you will be able to achieve the astral projection. But do not believe in me. Try it. Yeah, and he didn't like people. People of faith, people that just believed in things blindly. He said, no, you need to try things. You need to have your own experience. Then you can say it's true, or not true, maybe, but don't be like those. He was really harsh about that, because he would say, don't like fools that fool people that just repeat, oh yeah, this exists, that exists, but they never experienced anything. But yeah, this is the main principle of conscienciology line of studies that he created. And he wrote this book about astral project. He wrote several books, but this book, the Projectiology, is the main book about astral projection. And Projectiology was his proposal of a science to study the astral projection phenomena. So you can find this book online. I have the book here. Let me show you. Of course, my version of the book is in Portuguese. So I have it's a huge book about astral projection, and it covers many of the astral projection phenomena. And there are several techniques here. Everything that involves astral projection that we know until this moment. Of course, the field of astral projection is wider than that, is way broader than that, but this is what we know until now. He read more than 5,000 books to compile this material. So it's based on the books, it's based on his own experiments, his own research, and his own experience. Some of the images that I'm using here are the images of Professor Wagner Borges. He's a psych in Brazil who also studies astral projection. He wrote several books around astral projection as well. Since I'm using his image, I would like to ask you if you have the possibility, of course, to buy his book on Amazon. It's like $5. It's a really good book full of images, and you can use Kindle translation to read the book. The book is in Portuguese. If you can't, that's okay as well. So what is the hypothesis according to the research of Professor Waldo Vieira for the sleep paralysis for astral catalepsy, or projective catalepsy? That's the name that Professor Waldo Vieira used, projective catalepsy. So what is the hypothesis? So in my first video, I talked about how we have different vehicles of manifestations. There is something that we can call it different names. In Hindus called it Atman, and some people called spirit. Professor Waldo Vieira called consciousness. What is consciousness? It's the principle, the thing that is alive. It's something that we don't know what it is, but it's something that exists and manifests itself through different vehicles. So in my first video, I talked about the vehicles. So we have the physical body, the vehicle that allows the consciousness to manifest itself in the physical dimension. We have the psychosoma, or astral body, which allows the consciousness to manifest itself in the astral dimension. The mental body, which allows the consciousness to manifest itself in the mental dimension. And we have this intermediary body. I explained that better in my first video. If you didn't watch the first video, you can go there and watch it. And we have the energy body, which is not a vehicle of manifestation, but is the vehicle that connects these two bodies here, the astral body and the physical body. So whenever we sleep, or whenever the physical body lose the ability to hold or to keep the astral body connected, the astral body disconnects itself. It goes out of the physical body. So we call that when we do that unconsciously, we say it's an unconscious astral projection. We moved our consciousness whenever let's say that the physical body sleeps, then the astral body disconnects and go out of the physical body. If we are not if we are not on control, if we are not lucid, if we are not awakened, we call this an unconscious astral projection. It's a natural process that happens every night, practically. So every night this process happens. The physical body sleeps. We suffer a disconnection of the astral body. It goes out of the physical body. These images are just an example of that. The astral body can stay here, or it can move, it can go to a different place unconsciously. So sometimes when this displacement is happening, when we start to move out of the physical body, or when we start moving back to the physical body, let's say that there was a separation, the two bodies separated from each other, then the astral body is coming back to the physical body. Sometimes we wake up in the middle of the process. So we wake up when we are in a partial displacement of the astral body. So the astral body is not fully inside of the body nor fully outside of the body. It's kind of partially inside. And we wake up. We wake up in this situation here. What happens here? What happens is when we wake up and we are partially out of the physical body is still sleeping. It is still in sleep mode. And when we wake up, we are not waking up really in our physical body. We are waking up in our astral body. So we are here. So our brain, our mind, our consciousness is in this vehicle right here, in the astral vehicle. It's not in the physical vehicle. But since we are partially inside, when we are trying to move, what happens is we are trying to move our physical body, since we are partially connected. When we are fully connected, the physical body and the astral body, they move together. We call this state the coincidence of the vehicles. All the vehicles are in the same place, in the same space at the same time, in the same position in space at the same time. So when the consciousness says, I want to move the arm, move the arm up or move the arm down, I'm moving all the vehicles together here. I'm moving the astral body, the physical body, and everything together. But if there is this coincidence, if the bodies are not in the same place at the same time, what happens is, what's happening is I'm trying to generate a command. So I'm saying, move the vehicles, move the arm, for instance, move the arm up. But what happens is, we are not in the coincidence of the vehicles, nor in the discoincidence of the vehicles. If the astral body is fully out of the body, it will work, it will move. If it's fully inside of the body, it will move. But if the physical body is sleeping and the astral body is awakened, there is a problem. And if they are a little bit inside of each other, there's a problem, because we are saying, hey, move it, move the arm. And the astral body is trying to send the command to the physical body, but the physical body is still sleeping. So the physical body cannot respond to the command. And that said, you are trying to send a command. It's like I'm trying to tell to my computer. It's like I'm typing in the keyboard of my computer, but the computer is in sleep mode. So it will take some time for the computer to wake up and get the command. The computer is still in sleep mode. If you ever try to do that with your computer, like your computer is in sleep mode and you start typing something, the computer cannot respond immediately, because the computer is not every component of the computer is working. So the same thing is happening here. You are trying to give a command to your physical body, to pass the command to the physical body, but the physical body is still sleeping. You are saying, hey, move it, but the physical body is not responding. It will take some time, maybe a few seconds, maybe some minutes. It depends on the state of your physical body. In general, a few seconds, but it will take some time, and that time is scary because we don't understand what's happening. I hope you understand what I'm explaining here. So that's what's happening here. And this can happen in two different situations. What we call the hypnagogic state. So when the astral body is moving out of the body, we can wake up in our astral body. So my body just slept, and I'm starting to move out of my physical body, and all of a sudden I wake up. Say, oh, okay, I waked up, and now I try to move. I can't, because the body is already sleeping, and I'm like here. I'm in this situation here. So there are two things that I can do here, or I can try to fully move out of the body. Say, okay, I'll use this. I'm in projective catalepsy. So let me use this to fully move out of my body. Or I can go back to the physical body. I just need to relax in this situation. And try to do one of the two things, or complete the movement out or complete the movement back. This also happens in the hypnopompic state, when the astral body is coming back to the physical body. So there are two situations here: hypnagogic state when I'm moving out, and hypnopompic state when I'm coming back. And when I'm coming back, I can use this to do the same thing, to project myself again out of the body, or to come back to the body and wake up the body. One thing that we can experience here in this situation is what was called the vibrational state. Many people get very scared about the vibrational state, but the vibrational state is something very common. It's a natural process when the bodies are separating. So let's say I wake up here a moment before the bodies start the separation. I can experience something that is, which I just said, the vibrational state, which is when you feel a vibration. And the intensity of the vibration is what can scare people. Because it can be anything from like a wave, like I'm feeling some waves. Then you feel this thing very, very gentle, or you can feel like your body shaking, and people get concerned because they think, oh, maybe I'm dying, maybe something is happening, I don't know. and you feel a very strong shaking, like an earthquake. It's very strong. But if you look at your body, or if you put a camera in your bedroom and you feel the vibrational state, you see that there is nothing happening in the physical dimension. What is happening is your energetic body is generating this body here in the middle. It's what connects the two bodies. In the moment of disconnection, it generates a vibration to separate the two bodies. So every night this happens, but not every night you can see that happening because you are unconscious. Then you're gonna feel this very strong vibration, very, very strong. You don't need to get scared about that or anything. Just relax, wait for that vibration to stop, and then you can move out of your body. So if you feel the vibrational state, it's easier, because whenever you feel the vibrational state, after the vibrational state stops, you can just move normally. You can just move regularly. You can just say, okay, I will try to raise myself up here and walk. So the only thing is you need to do that a little bit fast. Do not stop very close to your physical body and stay looking at it, because the physical body can pull you back. You can do that as an experiment, but do not stay there for a long time if you want to explore the astral dimension. If you want to explore the astral dimension, it's better to wait for the vibrational state to stop, move out of your body, and then you can try one of the two things. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in my next video. You can try to cross the wall. You can try to walk through the wall, or if you can't walk through the wall, you can just open the door normally if you are in a bedroom or something like that. Sometimes we can cross the wall, we can go through the wall. Sometimes we can't. I'll talk about that. I'll explain that better, why that happens. But I hope you understand the sleep paralysis process here and how it happens. Now, sometimes while you are here, you wake up and you are partially inside of the physical body, you cannot move. So how can I transform this state in an astral projection? How can I use this state to astral project myself? Sometimes I wake up before the vibrational state. So I wait a little bit and I see if the vibrational state is coming. If the vibrational state does not come, then you can do one of the two things. You cannot move. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how big you are, you cannot move, because what is holding you here are the energies, and you cannot fight against that. It's way stronger than you are. There is no spirit, there's nothing here. There's no spirit controlling you, no demon or anything. It's just a natural process. So you don't need to be scared of the state or about this state. You just need to relax. If you are able to relax, what you can do is you can use the power of will. Your astral body can move through will. It can move through the will of movement, or you can just generate, hey, I want to move the astral body to the living room. I hope you understand what I said. I said the will of movement. When I say will of movement, is I want to move my body, I want to move my legs, or whatever. Or you can just create this will of I want to transport myself to the living room. Move there. Then through this, your astral body responds to, if you look here, your astral body is here. It responds to your mental body. So whatever you think, whatever your will is, your astral body responds to that. That's how we fly. Oh, I want to fly. So you fly. There are different things. We need to discuss that better, but it's basically that, you know, there are different things. Sometimes you cannot fly, but yeah. But that's a different conversation. But you just think, I want to move myself to the living room, go to the living room, and you can move or go to the corridor, go to whatever, go to out of the house. And then your astral body can move to the corridor or to the living room. But you need to be calm. Be calm. Do not get scared. Do not get desperate. Another thing that I think this state is very interesting now. Before I used to get very scared of it, but now I think it's very interesting, you know. Sometimes while you are here, you can see things, you know. All of a sudden you are here, you cannot move, and you see someone. Sometimes it's something scary, sometimes it's something nice. So what's happening there? So let's talk about that. Why? And they say sleep paralysis in science. They say sleep paralysis hallucinations. There is, in my experience, there is no hallucination there. What's happening is you are experiencing a different dimension. So let's explain that. So as I said in my first video, and I said in this video, what's the body? A body is like a suit for the consciousness that allows the consciousness to manifest itself in a certain dimension. The same thing like the bottom of the ocean. I cannot go there because my body is not prepared to that. But if I use a special suit, then I can go there. So our bodies are like special suits that allows the consciousness to manifest itself in different dimensions. And whenever I manifest myself in the physical dimension, then I can experience the physical dimension. Whenever I manifest myself in the astral dimension, then I can experience the astral dimension. So whenever, and here is Saulo Calderon showing the dimensions, and I showed this image in my first video. So apparently there are 7 astral dimensions in our planet, and we have the physical dimension, and we have 3 mental dimensions. I cannot say if that's true or not because I didn't experience all of them. I probably came to the 4th dimension, just to the 4th astral dimension here, and apparently there are some other place under the planet or inside of the planet here as well, but I'm not very sure of that. But yeah, so there are dimensions. So whenever I'm in the physical dimension, I can experience things in physical dimension. And whenever I'm in the astral dimension or in the astral body, I can experience things in the astral dimension. And I will talk about dimensions in my next video, spirits and dimensions. That's the topic of the video. So what happens is whenever I wake up here, I'm not fully in the physical dimension nor fully in the astral dimension. So I can experience both of them. So when you wake up here, depending on how far you moved from your body, you can start experiencing things in the astral dimension. So it can happen that you open your eyes and you see spirits because you are manifesting yourself in the same dimension that the spirits live. I hope that makes sense for you. So that's what you are seeing. It happened to me sometimes. I was in my bed, then I woke up and I couldn't move. I was in the projective catalepsy, and the spirits are very curious because they don't see that very frequently. So once I was in the astral catalepsy, and the spirit came like, came like this. Let me stop sharing. So let's say that my body was here and the spirit came, started looking at me. Oh, this is kind of, you know, he was really interested in what I was doing, and he was looking very, very interested in the process. Um, since I studied these things, I didn't get scared of him. You know, I didn't care at all. And well, the only thing that I did, since I learned in the process of studying astral projection, I learned how to move my energies. I just moved my energies faster because I didn't want him to mess with me. Um, but that can happen. You can see the astral dimension in this state. So you can see spirits, you can communicate with spirits, and you can hear the astral dimensions. So one thing that is very common here is spirits, good spirits. They use this state when we are coming back to our body. Friends of us, people that are our friends and they live in the spiritual dimension. They use these states to give us advice or instructions, like you are in the catalepsy, but you are unconscious, but they talk to you because right before, and they use more the hypnopompic state right before you wake up. They use this to give you some advice, some instructions about questions, or if you are facing a difficult time in your life. They use this to give you instructions. They use this state before, because since it's right before you wake up, you have more the probability of you bringing back the instruction even to your unconscious mind is way it's way bigger than in different states, in other states. Also, some spirits, they use this state to perform spiritual attacks. So they use like a hypnotic. They keep repeating the same thing, and that happened to me several times. I woke up and they were talking and talking the same thing over and over, like whispering over and over the same thing in this state right here. So they use this state also to perform spiritual attacks. I can talk about spiritual attacks if you guys want me to talk about that, and how the mechanics of spiritual attacks works. I'm not a very specialist in spiritual attacks, and I do not work with that. But if you guys want, let me know. You can leave a comment here, and I can talk about that. But yeah, I think that's it about sleep paralysis. The last thing is there any risk in the projective catalepsy? Is it dangerous or anything? No, it's a natural process. There's no risk. There's no problem. You cannot get in that state. You cannot die. Nothing can happen there. It's not caused by a spirit or anything. It's not caused by a bad entity or anything. It's just a natural process. And your body will get out of the cataleptic state naturally. One thing that you can do if you really get desperate, if you really get scared, what you can do is try to stay calm, then concentrate and put your concentration in like your a finger or a thumb, something like that, something really small, and start trying to move that. Then you see that you'll be able to move that. Then all of a sudden you'll be able to wake up your entire body. But yeah, no risks there. So general recommendations: to go back to the body, relax and concentrate in a small portion of your body and try to move it. To go for the astral projection, relax, and maybe you feel the vibrational state or not. If you feel the vibrational state, that's great. because then you can just move. If not, you define what we call a mental target, like the living room. I'll define a mental target, and I'll try to move there using only will. I'll not try to move or anything. I'll try to use my will to transport myself to that place. Yeah, that's it about this video. Hope it was useful for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.